Greetings, Hoodoo family. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Well, family, I'm pleased to announce that the 2026 Hoodoo Almanac is available on my website. The link is in the description if you'd like to go check that out. We'll talk about that at the end of the video because I want to show you something very special today. So many people need additional spiritual support as we go through these very, very tough times. I mean, almost everyone is struggling right now in some kind of way. And you all know, in my Hoodoo teachings, my videos, my books, everything that I do, I always stress the importance of connecting, building, calling on your ancestors, because that is the hallmark of traditional Hoodoo of our ancestors. And in fact, in the first lesson in the Hoodoo Basic Training book, I have you identify a few of your ancestors that you can work with. Or if you don't know their name, how to call on these ancestors, your righteous ancestors. That is how important ancestors are in the work that we do, and especially now, given all the challenges that are going on. And I know some of you are still new to traditional Hoodoo. You're new in this space. You're still learning, and you need something a little extra to help you make that spiritual connection with your ancestors. So I'm going to show you how to do this, but also how to use one Hoodoo work to build and feed another Hoodoo work. We're going to be using our Medea jar to feed this work that I'm going to show you here in a few minutes. Now, if you've been watching and subscribing to my videos, you know that I'm old school. I like to walk people through the process. I like to do demonstrations. Family, even if you don't know your ancestor's name, or perhaps you don't have dirt from their grave or even a photo, you can still make this Hoodoo ancestral charm. And I'm going to show you how step by step so that you can be proud and confident in what your hands can create, what they have made. Let me tell you, this is so very easy to do. You can do this, and it's something that will last you a lifetime and can even be passed down to your descendants. So what we're going to be making today is the Hoodoo Ancestral Charm. Very small, but don't sleep on it because it is very powerful. And you wear it hidden under your clothes. It's a necklace. It goes around your neck, and you tuck it in your clothes and keep it secret. It's a very sacred vessel. And it's sacred because it exists for the flow of ancestral power to help you, to navigate you, to show you the way through the challenges of your life. Not only to guard and protect you, but also to empower and bless you. The purpose of this charm is to help get you to where you need to be. And listen, if you're going through depression, if you're stressed out, if you're just overwhelmed with anxiety, just going through all kinds of hardships, I strongly encourage you to make this Hoodoo ancestral charm for yourself. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with a circle of cloth, and just want to remind you that it doesn't have to be a specific color. In fact, you should really use whatever you feel honors your ancestors. It has to connect with you spiritually. So I'm going to pray over this sacred circle and invite my ancestors to guide my hands while I'm building this charm. I have a special formula, and it's made of just a pinch of calendula root, basil, ground nutmeg powder, and some crushed pieces of mace. These are things that I had on hand. Now you can use whatever you like, whatever protection, blessing, prosperity, spiritual roots and herbs that you like. And just a reminder, you don't need a lot of it. This is just it's almost like a spoonful. Hopefully you have some dirt from a righteous ancestor's grave. If not, one thing you can do, if you know their names, you can write their names down on a tiny piece of paper and ball this up and add this to your charm. Now, if you don't know their names, just write "My Righteous Ancestor Spirits" on a tiny piece of paper, ball this up and add it to your charm. So for this Hoodoo Ancestral charm, I'm going to be using an item from my Medea jar. And what it will do is give it power, and it's going to feed the Hoodoo Ancestor charm. Now, if you didn't make a Medea jar, it's not too late. In fact, I'll put the link to the video in the description below. But you don't have to use your mother spirits. If you have something that belongs to an ancestor that can fit into here, just a little tiny snippet of something, you can add that to this charm instead of something from the Medea jar. Now, if you don't have anything that belongs to your ancestors, you don't have any kind of items, if you have a photo, that's fine. Family, if you don't have a photo of your ancestors, you don't know their names, you're going to have to use what is called a stand-in. You can use High John the Conqueror root or a little bit of tobacco. These will represent your ancestral spirits within this ancestral charm. I'm going to be using a red string for power. You can use whatever type string you like. I will be tying 9 knots. Every time I tie a knot, I'm going to call on the spirit of my ancestors to bless this charm with their presence, dedicating it to them. And the reason I'm using 9, not just because it's a hoodoo number, but because 9 is the completion of work done by the hands of man. 10 is the completion for work done by the divine hand or higher power. So I'm using 9. I'm going to seal this charm with an X by crisscrossing the string around it. X representing my ancestors, X representing the sacred cycle of life, X representing the unbroken circle of family between me and them, blood and spirit. I will dress this root charm with ancestral oil and protection oil that I've made. Now, the ancestral oil, this is optional. You can use any type of blessing or spiritual oil that you might have on hand. And I did put the formula for the ancestral oil in, I think it's the 2025 Hoodoo Almanac. Now, as far as the protection oil, this too is optional. You can use any type protection oil that you might have on hand. Right here, what I'm using, this is a very simple oil that I made several months ago. It's basically olive oil, a couple of chili peppers, and a small piece of cedar wood that has been sitting, and it is very strong. I'm going to dress the Hoodoo Ancestral charm with liquor to quicken the spirit of the charm. Now, here's something else I want to tell you about this particular charm. If you have young adults, you have teenagers who are open to guidance from their ancestors, you can make each of them their own Hoodoo Ancestor charm to take with them wherever they go. And this is especially helpful if you have a troubled teen. This might be a spiritual gift to them to create a doorway for your ancestors to help guide and work with them. When I'm not wearing my Hoodoo Ancestor charm, I'm going to keep it in my Medea jar for safekeeping, but also for spiritual feeding. So, family, I hope that you will give this a try. This is something that can definitely help you and your family members, those who are open to receive. So, I hope this video has been helpful to you. Family, I'm pleased to announce the 2026 Hoodoo Almanac is available. It has predictions for 2026. I'm focusing on Black people as a collective in these predictions. I've added a lot of resources that you can use to help you through 2026, and this includes spells, rituals, there's hoodoo medicine, there's deep dive into some really good hoodoo subjects. So if you'd like to learn traditional hoodoo, I do have the Hoodoo Basic Training textbook. This is a great way to get started on your hoodoo journey. This book has lessons, it has quizzes, assignments, step-by-step instructions for everything. I also have the Soulful Divination book, which teaches you 16 different divination methods, helping you to increase your interpretation skills and especially your intuition. And this includes some nature divination, how to foretell using nature. Family, you can check all of these out on my website. The link is in the description. Well, it's been wonderful visiting with you, family. I hope that you got something great out of this that can help you on your hoodoo journey. Until the next video, stay strong, stay resilient, and have a productive hoodoo journey.